we will take a look at hybrid project management. I know we saw earlier Tyler speak about sprints and projects, the UI between the two, but bringing them together, focusing on team collaboration is what this next presentation is going to be about. So today's agenda, we'll look at hybrid work environments. We'll look at sprints and projects from a higher overview than what we previously saw, budget and time tracking, and some integrations focusing on the team collaboration aspect. So what do we mean by hybrid work? Apart from just projects and sprints, we have other communication methods, right? We have Click, we have email, we have phone, we have chat. What if we had all of that in one interface to where we could easily access project dashboards, create tasks, schedule emails, click other channels, create groups. So here our traditional waterfall methodology, Zoho projects and Zoho sprints with our agile. So for projects, we've seen how we've split up our projects into milestones, task lists, and subtasks. Quick look into the mobile application because this is going to be big for when we're away from our desktop. More importantly, timesheets, being able to view multiple timers at once. And we do have a little video showing the optimization for iPad. So if you use your Apple Pencil, being able to check off tasks easily, accessing your Gantt charts. And for Zoho sprints and our agile project management, Tyler spoke to how we broke those up into backlogs, sprints, and tasks. If we need to look further into how we can create subtasks, we can always discuss this after the demonstration. I know you guys are getting hungry. Seamless integration for context switch, right? So getting started with how we can create that universal UI. This is just a brief look into a sprint, being able to quickly select different users, creating a team, being able to go in, add a meeting, mark items as complete. And I'm also going to focus on the native Zoho integrations that can bring projects and sprints together. Additionally, you'll see Zoho Mail and Zoho Click. We spoke to that and we saw how we can create meetings within a task and accessing documents through WorkDrive, CRM, desk, and analytics for BI, for support, and then books, invoice, and expense for noting trips, if we have any billing or payroll. And this here is going to be a little video showcasing sprints integrated with projects. You'll notice that we are within the projects application. From the items up at the top and the dashboards, you can see how we can quickly select this bathroom phase 1, where you can see the stories in the item list. As a homeowner, I don't want my mirrors to fog when I'm taking a shower, right? These are things that won't normally fall into a normal project, but can be discussed and implemented throughout a sprint. You'll also notice the Scrum board view. So here, that mirror fog issue that was being raised can be easily dragged and dropped over into the next sprint or phase. Meanwhile, giving me access to my project up at the top at all times. And with budgets and time tracking, sprints will follow the same as projects. We can still enter in project amount, project hours, and this is just ensuring that we're going to stay on time. It's just a quick look at a few Gantt chart views on how we can assign different tasks to our users. It was really nice to see Tyler go through how we might allocate those hours, because resource utilization, let's say employee availability is always going to be big when we're creating complex schedules. This is just a look quickly into the budget of a project. You can see milestone hours, task amount hours. I'm sure this is nothing new for any one of you, but this allows us to see a calendar view, create both project tasks and sprints, and assign those to our users. Calendar activities, their availability, that can all be configured in the tool. You'll also see different approvals for leave, and that's also going to go into what we view from that task, the info of that task. This is to cover that question that was earlier presented for multiple timers. This does allow us to track multiple projects and allows us to start and stop. We can also put configurations into the tool where we can only have one timer to run at a time, but that's all customizable by us. And this is really going to benefit how we bill our customers, track hours for our employees. This screen here is just showing how I can adjust multiple timers. You'll see here that what we're looking at as the example with sprints and projects is, let's say, an apartment complex construction. Our traditional project management will cover the main areas of that trade, what's going in first, what's happening next, our dependency values, and our sprints are going to be covering those stories or those sprints from what we saw earlier, like the bathroom mirror issue. But this can all be seen from a single UI and allow us to gather those timesheets much quicker than what it normally would be. The integrations is what's going to really point to more of the team collab aspect. So apart from just having sprints and projects, communication is going to be the biggest part. Having total clarity over that project, being able to exchange emails, create tasks on the fly, accessing documents through WorkDrive, invoicing through finance, tools like expense and books, even bringing in HR with Zoho People. That's an area that we can collect these timesheets spent through projects and sprints, have that in a nice single location. And then support from Desk and Zoho Assist. And of course, Zoho Analytics for some nice, robust reports and dashboards. But we may have current tools that we're using that we absolutely love. That's totally fine. And we want you to be able to integrate that with our tools just as easily. So things like Google product or Microsoft product, we can easily integrate. So we'll emphasize this again, just team collaboration. Our tech stack's going to be in the middle of our organization. The apps that we use, our employees, how we communicate with them, how we tie it all together is what we're trying to improve here. So those native Zoho applications, those of us that are in suites like Zoho One or CRM Plus, a lot of these tools are already provided. We could easily integrate those. And for our third-party applications, we have our marketplace that's available in multiple different areas, bringing in things like Zendesk for tickets, or if I like to stick with Teams or Outlook, we want you to be able to utilize the product the same. And this just allows us to stay connected. You'll see a few different examples on the screen on how we can check user availability. We'll also be able to see what's coming up in the next few weeks or months, how we might create their schedules. And this is a look into some of the built-in communication, primarily Click, being able to create Click channels over tasks or sprints, just as easy as creating a meeting for that particular task. Stand-up meetings are something that we can also do through sprints. But this just gives us a lot of flexibility. I'm staying at a high level because every project is different. Some organizations that are constructing the same thing may have a completely different set of steps. We want you to be able to control your own method. Click does have external channels that are available as well, if any of you weren't aware of that. So if I did need to invite in a client user or a contractor, I can easily have them part of that Click channel to where they're receiving notifications in the field in real time if I ever get an update on a project task or if I need to change the status of an item. The same goes for the dedicated workspaces. So just like creating a crew in FSM or another department in Zoho Desk, we can create our own workspaces for different teams, and they can all work together and communicate through our built-in tools. This screenshot here is just showing us go through a project task, create an impromptu meeting, selecting who we need to be in that conversation. And once we have that configured and entered, it will then go into all of our synced calendars. Another look at tracking multiple projects at once. So if we do have multiple items going across, seeing sprints and projects from a single UI with customizable dashboard options is always going to be a possibility. And this is a look into more of a sprints, reports and analytics view. This is just giving us options to improve our process, minimize cost, increase our profit. You'll see the Epic reports just selectable from the down menu, where if I wanted to select epics versus sprints, timesheets, it's all easily accessed here. And I wanted to share a little bit about what's coming up. Zia, our built-in AI, I'm sure you have heard a time or two since you've been here, is going to be giving us a lot of predictions. It's going to be giving us some anomaly reports. And in this example, it might start to predict some milestone changes or status. Well, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.